With the Jiang Jun having a reveal courtesy of IGN, we can actually look at the gameplay, some of what his kit's going to do, and all of that sort of jazz. But with Jiang Jun meaning general, and one of the greatest examples of Chinese generals just around that you'll find, and you won't actually get too far within Chinese mythology, history, all of that stuff, without at least hearing about Guan Yu, you're talking about Guan Yu. So if you're going to war, you want a son, you're traveling via a boat, or you want any number of other things, you might want to pray to Guan Yu. He had a bunch of different names while he was alive, and different stories have probably given him different names as well. He might be going by Guan Di, Shang Shen, Guan Yu Shen, Yu Shen, but we'll just stick with Guan Yu for this one. Even actors who played the man would briefly share some of his ability to quell demons, apparently. I suppose you could actually try that one out yourself and let me know the results. He lived during the Han Dynasty, dying in 219 AD, or 220 AD. But a lot of the information you'll find out about Guan Yu nowadays shows off his heroics, be it when he was saving a young girl from a magistrate who kidnapped her and rode on after them, killing the magistrate and saving the girl, or a myth behind why his face was red or a reddish hue. You see, he wanted to pass this guarded barrier, and he might have been known if he hadn't changed his face to a more reddish color. So he did that, and then he was able to pass the barrier without being detected or identified. That might have also been the reason why his face was red, though, so, you know. Guan might have been a blacksmith or a maker of tofu in his early life. It's not really too clear, and not much is known on that front. But he did meet Liu Bei early on in his life, as well as Zhang Fei, and Liu Bei being a sandal maker, Zhang Fei being a butcher. Through one way or another, they end up swearing undying loyalty to each other. Now, prior to this, Guan may have taken down a warlord who placed a bit of a toll on water because he filled up a local well, and Guan Yu just wasn't happy with him exploiting the people. It's pretty much a dick move to do that anyways. Or perhaps Zhang Fei and Guan Yu got into a bit of an argument and it might have turned to blows, but Liu Bei turned up to dissolve the situation, and then undying loyalty may have been sworn sometime after that, but either way, it was. And Liu Bei wanted power and control, and with Guan Yu at his side, because you know, Guan Yu being the loyal man that he was, ends up going to war with him. And the early conflicts and battles really don't go too well for Lei Bu. Guan Yu ends up getting captured by a general, and Liu Bei went into hiding or whatever he did. But the general liked Guan Yu. He liked his loyalty, he liked his strength and bravery, and so he didn't kill Guan Yu. In fact, he offered Guan Yu a number of riches and all of these different things just to betray Liu Bei and join his side, but Guan Yu refused. However, Guan Yu did do the general one favor because Guan Yu felt indebted to him. So he strolls up to Yan Liang's army, and Lang Liang was a man serving under the general's greatest rival. And then Guan Yu rides past Yang Lian's men and slays Lang Liang. Then he returns to the general, and then not long after that leaves the general's side and returns to Lei Bu, and returns to Liu Bei, and not long after that Guan Yu returns to the general and then leaves the general's side to return to Liu Bei. And the thing about this is that the general orders his men not to fire at Guan Yu. He's just so impressed by Guan Yu at that point. Rejoining Liu Bei, their military campaigns start to go a bit better. Liu Bei entered an alliance with Sun Quan, and together they even pushed back the former general that Guan Yu was just helping. Liu Bei becomes a king of Shu, and Guan becomes a general. He wasn't particularly happy with this rank for one reason or another, but either way, he made a name for himself and became very popular among the people for his bravery and just being a good person. After his death, he is deified, but the process took a few hundred years. Also, his death specifically, he was beheaded, and apparently his son Guan Ping was also ended that day, with his head being shown to a few other individuals just so they also knew that he was dead, because again, he made a bit of a name for himself, and some people he made a bit of a name for himself, and of course there were people that weren't fans of the whole Guan Yu. So, you know. But yes, later on he is deified, and by later on I do mean a few hundred years or so had gone by, and then he's deified, dynasties later. But just in case you didn't watch my previous video on For Honor covering the 4 new heroes and backstory lore behind them, I talk about how the Guan Dao is a weapon that is attributed to Guan Yu, but the thing is it would have been impossible for him to actually use the Guan Dao because, well, whilst he was alive, it wasn't an actual weapon that had been made yet, or at the very least it just wasn't really in use all that much, so it wouldn't have been possible for Guan Yu to use it. Still, it's considered to be one of his signature weapons in the stories and myths surrounding him, so there's that. Also, in the myths, he might have been, buffed up to be a stronger, taller, more of a giant man than he actually was in real life. In fact, it was said that he was one of the few people that could actually lift and use his weapon the way that he did, because, there's a bit of a strength requirement to it. So there's that as well, and he's given a bunch of other, I don't want to say superpowers, but, things that you probably wouldn't expect the original Guan Yu to either be able to do or have at his side, like, the whole demon quelling stuff and incredible strength. I'm not saying he's a weak man by any means, but, the amount of strength that he's given in the myths probably wasn't the same as what he was given IRL. But, there's that. So, what do you think of the Jiang Jun, or did you just come here for a good tale of Guan Yu? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video and feel like it deserves it, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. But, until the next one, have a very good day. I've been Prime, and I'll see you in a few. Bye-bye.